I probably should have made this video about 2 weeks ago, but I hope this can help clear up any questions people may still have about how barrier skip changes Wind Waker speedrunning. For those of you who happened upon this part of the internet randomly and have no idea what I'm talking about, barrier skip is a major sequence break in The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker, which gives early access to Ganon's Tower and has been sought after for nearly a decade by speedrunners. Currently only possible in the HD version, this trick entails skipping past the giant barrier which normally blocks the player from reaching the end of the game much earlier than intended. For years, this wall had taunted runners and glitch hunters alike as a seemingly perfect entity, capable of standing strong against the dozens of theories that players have conjured up over the many years on ways to escape the isolating cylinder. It wasn't until April 10th, 2017 that a consistent way of clipping through this barrier was stumbled upon. It was a quiet and peaceful stream that night with but a few chatters. Speedrunner Cortana1 was attempting to clip past the legendary beast while logging his button presses and other game variables, so that others may recreate the skip if he so happened to perform it. After trying for 80 straight minutes, he made one peculiar attempt aimed nearly perfectly straight forward into the wall, as if he had locked eyes with it. As Link's X position hit negative 24.68, and with a speed of over negative 5,000 units, the expressive little green-clad cel-shaded model slipped through but a tiny unnoticeable crack within the monstrosity. Cortana had shot Link forward past the infamous barrier, and within a 30th of a second, Wind Waker speedrunning was changed forever. "Oh my god," he screamed. "Oh my fucking god." Soon after, the skip quickly became viable with a decent setup, and obviously the first major question everyone had was how much time does this save? A rough answer to that question would be around 2 hours and 10 minutes. With regards to any percent, barrier skip has obviously changed this category a lot. Compared to the beginning of April, the current record is more than 2 hours faster and can still be optimized much further. Now in any percent, instead of going through all 5 dungeons and obtaining the Triforce to get to Ganon's Tower, we instead go through half a dungeon, obtain the Leaf, Bombs, and Quiver, and go to Dark Forsaken Fortress 1 to perform the early Master Sword sequence break. This saves around half an hour and allows us early access to Hyrule 2, where we can perform barrier skip and make our way to Ganon's Tower. Since we have the Master Sword, we're able to successfully defeat Phantom Ganon, obtain the Light Arrows, shred Phantom Ganon from existence, and proceed to defeat Puppet Ganon. After defeating Puppet Ganon, we encounter the most unfortunate trick in all of Wind Waker speedrunning, the Fairy Hover, which I'm sure some of you know by now is an absurdly awful trick. Normally, the game wants Link to use the hookshot to access the loading zone leading to the Ganon fight. However, in any percent, we don't get the hookshot. So instead, we have to do a zombie hover up to the final platform and hope that a fairy heals us while we're flying up so that we don't die. The problem is, fairies are random, and these fairies do not like to cooperate. The chance of getting healed by these fairies is very low, and because of that, most any percent runs don't finish. It sucks. Many people have offered up potential theories on ways to skip this awful trick. One that I see commonly mentioned suggests going to the Mulgara boss room in the Ganon's Tower trials, since going in there resets your inventory and must give you the hookshot, right? Unfortunately, no, this is not the case. The game does not give Link items during these boss fights. It simply takes items away temporarily and resets which items are bound to the X, Y, and R buttons. Another theory mentioned many times consists of using the leaf to blow either a Morth or a pot up onto the final platform, and then during the zombie hover pull out a bomb to make either entity explode and drop a heart. Unfortunately, pots can't get up onto the platform. Morths can, and they would work, except for the fact that Morths don't produce drops unless they're killed by Link's sword specifically. Killing a Morth with any other damage source, such as the boomerang or a bomb, does not yield any drops whatsoever, causing this theory to fall short. Since any percent now completes no dungeons, a new category was created known as All Dungeons. As the name suggests, this category completes all the dungeons before heading off to face Ganon. It's basically what any percent was before barrier skip, except the entire Triforce quest is skipped thanks to there being a portal that links Ganon's Tower and Forsaken Fortress together. The second time we go to Hyrule in this category, we do barrier skip and activate this portal so that after Wind Temple we can go straight back to Ganon's Tower to beat the game. A bonus of going to Ganon's Tower early is that we get to obtain the Light Arrows before Earth and Wind Temple, and due to the power of Light Arrows, late game fights are pretty much a joke. In addition to the early light arrows, we can also obtain both the mirror shield and fully charged master sword in Ganon's tower by watching the cutscene preceding the Ganon fight. The game will just hand-link the fully charged master sword as well as the mirror shield in this cutscene, as it assumes he must already have those items. Honestly, I'm not really sure why the game does this, but it probably has something to do with the fact that those items are actual models used during the cutscene or something. I have no idea. Having the mirror shield early saves time, as we can just waltz right past the first half of Earth Temple, and having the fully charged Master Sword early saves time by setting some completion flags in Wind Temple. These flags result in being able to skip watching the Wind Temple completion cutscene, as well as having Makar anticlimactically play his song and override the Mulgara boss music, which is pretty funny. With all this in mind, the category is around 45 minutes faster than any percent was before barrier skip, and cuts out many things that most runners didn't enjoy. As for 100%, the changes barrier skip implements into this long category are pretty similar to all dungeons. The light arrows, mirror shield, and fully charged master sword are all obtained early, saving time in Earth and Wind Temple and making powerful opponents easy to defeat in the later parts of the run. Combined, these changes save more than 10 minutes for the category. In regards to a potential future tool-assisted speedrun or TAS for the HD version, barrier skip would likely push the completion time of such a run to be under an hour, since a TAS would be able to perform various sequence breaks that a standard run isn't capable of executing. A TAS could also do the early Master Sword sequence break much faster using an extremely precise item slide from the top of Forest Haven. However, I will remind everyone that actual TASing of Wii U games is likely a long way into the future, so don't get excited about this happening anytime soon. So yeah, barrier skip saves massive amounts of time in every category besides glitchless, and is one holy grail that is now checked off the list, at least for the HD version. The original Wind Waker still unfortunately is not able to perform barrier skip, as it can't reach the speed necessary to execute the clip. If barrier skip was to become possible in the original version, it would likely cut the any percent time down to around an hour and 10 minutes, making it faster than the HD version. So for now, the hunt is still on, sort of, to find a way of executing it in the original game. Anyway, that's it for this video, so if you made it this far, thank you very much, and I'll see you guys next time, whether that's on stream or whenever I decide to make some other random video. So goodbye.